All right, so we've talked about consumer surplus, we've talked about producer surplus. Now let's put them together and look at total economic surplus. Economic surplus is the sum of consumer and producer surplus, so it represents total benefit to society. And if we go back to our graph, now we can see that we have consumer surplus and we have producer surplus, so total economic surplus is going to be the big triangle. We're putting them together, and that again represents total benefit to society. So consumer surplus, producer surplus, total economic surplus. So let's review for just a minute. Market failure occurs when basically the demand curve or the supply curve is not in the right place. The demand curves don't fully capture all the benefit, consumers' full willingness to pay, and supply curves don't fully capture all the cost of production. Consumer surplus is the difference between the maximum price a consumer is willing to pay for a good and the price they actually pay. Producer surplus is the difference between the minimum amount a producer is willing to accept for a good and the price they actually receive. So consumer surplus, again, is that area above the equilibrium price and below the demand curve. Producer surplus is the area below the equilibrium price and above the supply curve. Total economic surplus is the sum of the two. It's consumer surplus plus producer surplus. And as it represents total benefit to society, it is maximized when a market is functioning properly and is at equilibrium. So what we're going to see in the next few videos is what happens to consumer surplus, producer surplus, and total economic surplus when the market is not functioning properly, when we're either overproducing or underproducing.